So, slightly different kind of video today. I had a request to do a video about the various hairstyles and wigs that I do use in my ASMR videos. So I'll start with the real hairstyles since there's less of those, and then go into the wigs. So this one is one that I've used in a few ASMR videos. I don't know as though I'd really call it a style. It's pretty much just a little headband I made. It just goes over my head, under my hair, and then pull it back up, and that's actually the most common hairstyle that I wear like every day when I'm not doing videos, just in my normal everyday life. So a couple of the hairstyles that I tend to wear a lot in my videos is this one, where I will, and I'm sorry this is difficult, I'm kind of doing this without a mirror. I have a really tiny one down there, but it's kind of hard to look in, honestly. But I just take a little bit of hair in front of my ears, and I just twist it around backward. And then while I'm twisting that, I just kind of hold it in my mouth while I twist the other side. Just like that, and then I pull them around behind, and then I just take a little elastic and I'll flip around so you can see this here. And I just wind the elastic around it like that, and so then, yeah, it's just kind of a, this is a really sloppy version because again I'm doing this with no mirror, but you know, it's a little twist that goes around the side, and I've worn that in quite a few of my videos, I think. Let me just undo that. And then little hair brushing. It's not really one of my triggers, but I know it is for some people, so I have to brush it out anyway here to do the next one, so I'll do that right here on the video. So another common one that I do is just split the hair evenly on both sides of my head, and then I just do like a regular pigtail braid. I use that one a lot. I just do the braids, you know, just the three pieces, braiding over one another. This is not a tutorial, so yeah, I'm going kind of fast, but there's probably 9 billion tutorials on how to braid your hair on the internet, so I won't rehash that one again, but just do a little pigtail braid, and I always do mine behind my ears because I can't stand them in front of my ears, so and I just go until there's a couple inches left at the bottom of the braid, and then just go back to my trusty little elastic and wind that off, just to give it something to hold the bottom so it doesn't come apart on me. And then do the same thing on the other side here. Again, I'm doing this really, really fast, but you get the basic idea here. I'm just kind of breezing through it as I talk because it is an ASMR video. But yeah, just do the two braids on either side with the three pieces. And I try very hard to make them even. Don't always succeed, but I do my best here. And again, I'm staring at this tiny mirror down here, so forgive me for not looking straight at you. Okay, when I get to the bottom, just tie that one off as well. And so that gives me two nice even braids, and I've worn this one in quite a few too, so I think I wore this one in the credit card one, in the Jurassic Park one, so I know I wore it a few different places, and this is one I also wear quite a bit in real life as well. And so then a variation on this one that I have also worn in a few of the ASMR videos is I will take it and I will go up over my head like that, and then I'll just take either a bobby pin or a little clip. I'm gonna use the clips here just because it's easier, and just clip those in place like that, and tuck the ends under. And usually I use bobby pins so you don't see the clips, but these are a little faster to get in than the bobby pins, so for this I'm just using this. And I've used this hairstyle for several. I know I've used it for several, because I know the one, I think it was the speeding ticket, I had a little ears that I tucked into it to, I don't know, look like an alien, I guess, because it was a sci-fi speeding ticket. So this is really handy. This is how I wear my hair underneath most of my wigs as well, because I can bobby pin the wigs right to the little braid thing on top here. And some of the wigs, if I want them to be like a little higher on my head, I will actually bobby pin a sock to my head and then put the wig over it to give myself like that high 60s hair look. So I do that a lot. Let me see, I probably should have done this hairstyle first before I braided my hair, but whoops. I guess that's the problem of not scripting my ASMR videos, is that I forget which order I should do things in. So unbraiding now that I've already braided, I will unbraid it. And okay, so this next one, there's like 3 of them, and it's kind of a variation of like the same 3 there's like 3 hairdos that are a variation of basically the same hairdo. So okay, it can be a little tricky to get it. So so basically what I do is I just take, throw it behind my shoulders, take a little bit of hair, like I just grab a little bit behind my ears, and just kind of shove that like straight up. So it's like I just take, it's gotta be straight, I just take the hair and I just shove it straight up, and that gives it kind of that little winging out, the way it kind of wings out to the sides like that. Then I kind of fix the back a little bit to get it a little bit better looking, and then I just take one of the little clips, well actually usually several of the little clips, because this this hairstyle is what I would call a not real hairstyle, meaning that it's not really one that can be worn. Like it'll stay in place, you know, for the 20 or 30 minutes that I'm shooting a video. There we go, like that. But to actually go out somewhere, I think it would need to be fastened in there a whole lot better, because it's not really a really solid hairdo. So, but I use this one a lot in my videos because it's not a hairdo that I like ever wear in real life. So it's kind of fun because I feel a little more in character when I'm shooting a video, because it's a hairstyle that's not me. So it's a hairstyle that I don't really use. So it makes things a little easier to pretend for whatever role play I'm doing. And you'll have to excuse the crow who is making noise outside the window, but I have a lot of crows out here and they do get very noisy, but they're cute. I like them. So but anyway, so here's this one, and then I also do a couple variations on this. Let me see, just take that back down. Okay, and so variation on that one that I did, I think I used this for the sci-fi restaurant, and that, wow, the crows are getting really loud. That might be the only one that I used it for, but it's basically the same thing. I just take the hair behind the ears and just kind of shove it straight up. And okay, this one is a little bit more difficult to do. There we go. There we go. I just kind of shove it straight up, and then, so it's the same hairstyle as the last one, except instead of taking a little bit from the front, I just take the whole thing so it all goes up, and then same thing, I just clip that into place. And this one has far less chance of staying in place than the half version that I did a second ago does, because it's even heavier, and I'm just holding it in place with these little clips. So yeah, that's the like I said, I think that was the sci-fi restaurant one that I did. And so this one will stay up for, yeah, roughly 20 minutes before it starts falling down. It's, like I say, it's not really a real hairdo because it will fall down. In fact, if I move my head a little bit here, actually it's staying up, but staying up a little bit better than I thought it would actually, but it does tend to fall down, and usually by the end of the video you can start to see it, little strings falling out of the clips. But so that is that one. And then the third variation on that, it's the halfback with some strings trailing down, which I think I used for the post office one, and I don't know if I used it for any others. Hang on, let me just run this through real quick. Okay. Okay, so same kind of thing, except in this case, before I pull the sections back, I'm just going to pull a little section out in front of my ears, like that, on each side. Okay, and then I will do the grabbing a little section behind my ears and going straight up. And then just clipping that in place. And again, same thing. Not really what I'd call a real hairdo because not super likely to stay in place a long time. And if it's cold out, there's no way you can get a hat over this hairdo. Okay, it's like falling already actually, but so that's how that one kind of goes. And like I say, I use that one for the post office one. So it's basically the same one as the other two. It's the grab the hair, pull it straight up, and clip it in place, but I've got the little tendrils hanging out in front. I guess that's really the only difference. So I think those are all of my real hairdos that I use in my videos. If I missed any, you'll have to let me know. Just putting my little clips back here. They are really handy. I think they're like, a couple bucks or something. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just moving all this stuff off of my wig box. So 1 second here. Okay, so this wig here, this is my long brown wig. It's really long. This was one of my first, what I'll call, good wigs, because this was one that I didn't just, get from a Halloween shop for $5. This one actually cost a little bit of money, but I've definitely gotten my money's worth out of this wig because I have worn it with, I think I've used it for like 5 different costumes, like 5 different real costumes, and then I use it, like just randomly all the time. For ASMR videos and costumes where I just want to fluff the hair up a bit, things like that. So I have spent a lot of time using this wig. It was my first real wig, and I really love this wig. I don't have the sock on my head now, but this is one that I generally wear with a sock because it does fluff my hair up a little bit. And right now I'm just going to wind my hair up and shove it under there, but let me see. It's a little easier with the sock actually too because the bangs don't hang in my eyes then. But so I tend to, hang on, I'm going to need a mirror. I can't see what I'm doing here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so the bangs are a little long, but when I have the sock under my head, it does make a huge difference. I use this one for Kaylin, I use it for my Star Trek Scant, I use it for Leia, I use it for Wonder Woman, I've used it for Isabella a couple times when I wanted to do the brown hair. I think there's probably a couple others that I've used it for, but I do really like this wig. I can't even see the bottom of it, it's so long here. And it's a fairly comfortable one. It's not too tight, fits over my hair fine, and again, normally I usually have the braids over my head with a sock bobby pin to my head, so it gets a little higher like this, and it gives it kind of that 60s look, which is especially good for like my Star Trek costumes. So I do love wearing it for that. This one, I'm sure you guys have seen this one. I wear this one a lot just because it's really easy to put on. I don't have to do anything special. I just grab it and go. It's kind of like all set, and it's because it's short, it's very easy to manage so it doesn't get tangled. This is one that I don't know if I've ever really brushed it. Okay, my real hair is kind of cascading down in the back here, but I'm just showing the various wigs, obviously, so yeah, I'm sure you've seen this one a lot. I do really kind of like this wig, because like I say, it's a really easy one. It's not the most realistic looking wig. It was a pretty cheap wig, but it's got a little less plastic shine than some of like the really, really cheap wigs. This was on the cheaper side of decent wigs, I'll say. How's that? So it doesn't have like the super glossy shine, but it does still kind of look like a fake wig. It's definitely a fake wig. It was a little bit longer initially, but I cut it off short because I use it for Lilu. And of course Lilu's hair was a little shorter. But like I say, it does make it really easy to manage. I don't really have to worry about this wig getting tangled or anything, so it's kind of a fun wig that I enjoy using. Now this one is probably my favorite wig. This is just the short little brown wig, and this wig was actually my brother's wig. He used this to go as Bones for Halloween one year, and then, you know, when he's not using it, he lets me borrow it for ASMR videos. I don't think I've ever used it for a costume. No, actually I did. I used it for Superman. But other than that, I think Superman is the only costume I've ever used this wig for. So it's mostly just one that I use for ASMR, and I really like it. If I was ever going to cut my hair, which I probably never will because I like having long hair, but if I was ever going to cut my hair, I would probably do it in the style of this wig, because it's definitely my favorite. This is the one wig that I never braid my hair for underneath, because otherwise it sticks out, and it looks really wide then, and it doesn't have the look that I like. I like it when it's a little closer to my head, so for this one I just wind my hair up underneath it, like I'm doing now. It does make it a little more difficult to get on, because then I have to manage my real hair underneath it, but I do like this wig. I gotta see if I even have it on the right direction though, because it's a difficult one to get on. I got some real hair trailing off here. There we go. Again, this is very hard to do without a real mirror. I usually do this in the bathroom, but the bathroom is kind of hard to film in, to be honest. There's not a lot of room, so but yeah, and then I just put it over, oh, real hair, just put it over my ears. And I just kind of like the way that looks, so, especially if I get, like, when I wear that, I have one shade of lipstick. I have a couple, I guess, but there's only one that I actually wear in any of my videos, which is the purple one from my Raven costume. I will quite often wear that one, and so that tends to look really good with this wig. So I really, really like that one. But so yeah, I would say that one is probably my favorite wig. A little bit of a pain to get on, but I do really like that wig. So let's see, this one here. This was the wig that my cousin's husband wore as Aragorn, and then I used it as Anakin, and what else? There was something else it got used for. I can't remember what, but use it fairly often in ASMR, and I'm not really gonna hide my hair much because this wig is almost the same color as my hair, so it kind of just blends right in with me. So there's this one here, and this one is kind of funny when I put this one on because I look just like my brother. I could be his twin in this wig because he's kind of got, he's got shorter hair than I do, and it's kind of wavy a little bit, and so I look a lot like my brother in this wig, so even if it looks good, it's kind of difficult for me to get past the fact that I look like my brother, so probably not one of my favorite wigs just because of that fact, because, you know, you never want to look like your brother, let's face it, you just don't. Male or female, everybody wants their own look when they have siblings. You people who have siblings know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, this one I kind of refer to it as the brother wig because I do end up looking just like my brother in this wig. And because I have an ambiguous face, it is kind of like a guy's hairstyle, so I really look like a guy in this wig besides, so probably not one of my favorite wigs, I guess, but it's a really easy one, which does make it nice because it blends into my real hair color. So if there's any of my real hair showing under the wig, it totally can't be noticed because it just looks like part of the wig. So that is one handy thing about it. And it did work really well as the Anakin wig when I needed that. So I do like it for that, I will admit. Let's see. Okay, now then I have this one. This one is the long red-haired wig that I know a lot of people say they like when I wear it. It's not one of my favorite wigs because it's a little bit of a pain. As you can see, I'm struggling with it. Because it is curly, it tends to get tangled and you can't comb it out like a regular wig because it is curled, so you have to very carefully comb it, which makes it a little more of a pain just to deal with. And this one's like the brown one, the first one. I usually put a sock on my head for this one just because the bangs are long and it fluffs it up higher and gives it that 60s look, which for some reason I like the way it looks with my face, but I'm just gonna do it flat for now. I tend to tuck some of the bangs behind my ears because it hides my real hair a little better. And so there's that one. This one, like I say, it's kind of it's not really my favorite wig because it is so curly and it makes it kind of heavy, so it's not really a fun one to wear for too long. I know a lot of people say that they like the way it looks, and it is okay for, you know, shooting like a 20 or 30 minute video, that's fine, but to wear it to a Comic-Con, I don't know if I want to go as Black Widow anytime soon because it's kind of a heavy wig and I would probably have a headache by the end of the day, so... but it is a nice wig, I do like it. It's definitely not a hairstyle that I would ever wear in real life. It's just like too flouncy with the curls and seems like it'd be a lot of work to maintain and stuff, which, you know, I'm kind of a comb my hair and throw in a headband kind of girl. I'm not someone who spends a lot of time in the morning because, you know, there's cows to feed and work to do, whatever, so yeah, this would be a lot of maintenance, I think, so fun wig, but not something that I'd want to wear all the time because it's heavy and a lot of maintenance, things like that, so, but it is fun to give it kind of a different look for my videos because this is definitely a really different look for me. I don't wear anything curly like that, so definitely a different look for me. Now this one was another one of my brother's wigs, and this one was his V for Vendetta wig, so if I can find a picture of that, I will post it in this video, but I don't know if I have a picture of that or not, so let's see if I can find one of those. But yeah, this was his V for Vendetta wig. And since he, you know, doesn't generally go out dressed as V for Vendetta outside of Halloween or Comic-Cons, he lets me use it when he's not using it, so this one is, I use this one, well, two ways. I'll either use it like this, which is, you know, it's really kind of fluffy, and it sticks out a lot, and if I take a pair of glasses, I really look like Edna Mode, so, oftentimes what I will do instead is I'll just take a couple pieces like this and then just take one of those little clips and clip it around the back because it kind of tames it a little bit, helps lose the Edna Mode look, makes it look a little more realistic. But if I'm feeling lazy or just want to look funny, I will keep it like this and go for the Edna Mode look. I think I had a video where I did do the the glasses and the capes at the end of one of them. So this is my my Edna mode look, I guess. But I also do it like this, and it does look a little bit better like that. This one is a wig that I like. Again, not mine, it's my brother's, but he lets me use it. And it's really comfortable, goes on my head. It fits really, really well, I think is why I like this one so much. And again, being kind of short, it's really easy maintenance. It never gets tangled, and that's the one problem with long wigs. I love my long wigs, but they do tend to get tangled, which can make them a little less fun at times, so... But, you know, that's the trade-off for having cool wigs. You have to maintain them. But this one, not a lot of maintenance. Pretty simple, easy little wig to use. So that does make it a lot of fun. Okay, now this one is my Witcher slash Daenerys slash probably a few other characters I have in mind. But, yeah, for now it's the Witcher and the Daenerys wig, but I do use it fairly often in ASMR videos as well. And again, normally I take my real hair and hide it up underneath the wig, but for now I'm just putting this over the top. And originally this wig, everything was back like this and it just looked horrible, so I pulled these little pieces out because it just covers my hair a little bit better. This is not a great wig for covering my hair, and it's definitely very wiggish. I mean, this thing is so obviously a wig because it doesn't cover my hair well and it doesn't sit down because of the, you know, the pullback style. I cannot afford lace front wigs, so I don't have any lace front wigs. Obviously lace front wigs look the best, but they're a little bit out of my cosplay budget, so but yeah, so this one was kind of a compromise wig. You know, I didn't want to spend the lace front, so I ended up with this, which it's not terrible, I guess, but it could definitely be better. But I do like using it for various ASMR videos because it's kind of a different wig. I think this might be the only wig in the pulled back style, so it's just another fun wig to use in a few different ASMR videos just to change it up a bit once in a while. And it is actually comfortable. It's heavy, but it's not as heavy as like the curly wigs, so it doesn't really give me a headache when I wear this one for too long. I spent an entire day at the farm market dressed as the Witcher a couple of years ago when I made that costume, so that was fun, and I never had a headache, and it kept my ears warm too, so that was a benefit. So take off that one. Let me see here. Okay, so this one, this is my most recent wig. I think I got this one last year, I think. And it's a plain, long, black wig. And I use it for a few different costumes. I really needed a long black wig, because there's a few costumes that I needed one for, and I was just using this, again, like $5 cheap Halloween store wig, and it looked awful. If you want to see how bad it looked, go look at my Hella costume, the one without the horns, where you just use the black wig. It was a very bad wig, so I finally got this one last year, which is a nice black wig, and I use it for like a lot of witches and stuff at Halloween, so it comes in handy a lot. And this one is also very comfortable. It fits my head nicely, and it's a nice light wig, even being a long one. And thus far, it's not that prone to tangling. It might be at some point, but right now it's not. Let me see. The one thing is I didn't like the length of the bangs on this one because it makes them very difficult to keep them out of my eyes. I would have actually liked them a little longer so I could tuck them back like this, or a little shorter so that they could just be bangs, but they're like right about eye level, so I usually either tuck them to the sides like this, and I think this is the wig I will use when I do Yennefer at some point. I do want to do Yennefer to go with The Witcher. And this is obviously the wig I'll use for that because it's a long black wig. But yeah, the only problem I had was that the bangs weren't really long enough or short enough, one of the two, to be out of my eyes. But you know, I can just kind of pull them to the sides like that, which I tend to do a lot of because the bangs are just a little bit too long to be bangs, and I'm not really sure I want to cut it anyway because most of the characters I do don't have bangs. You know, like Yennefer doesn't have bangs and Hela doesn't have bangs, so it does work better to just pull them to the sides like that. So it's usually the way I wear the wig, but again, it's a comfortable one. It's long, but it's not real heavy, so it doesn't really give me a headache to wear this one. So this is a wig I really like. I wanted a long black wig for quite a while. I don't know, I like that long black hair. I always have. So, I'm not really into dyeing my hair, so I probably would never dye it black, so it's fun to wear a black wig. So there is my long black wig. Let's see. Hang on, my mirror is slipping. Okay, there we go. Alright, now this one, okay, I gotta be honest, this is probably my least favorite wig, which is probably why you don't see it as much in my videos. This one is a black curly wig. I've used it for a couple of costumes and a few ASMR videos. And the reason why I don't really like this wig is that it is really heavy. The curls in this wig, it's so curly, there is so much hair in this wig that by the end of the day, I definitely have a headache if I wear this wig too long. So it's good for like ASMR videos, but when I wear it for costumes, if I'm going out a long time, I do end up with headaches wearing this wig because it is a really, really heavy wig. This is also one that I will often put a sock under to fluff it up a little bit. I'm not doing that right now. It's just flat, which is usually how I wear it in ASMR videos. The bangs on this thing are like very unruly and they really want to be in my face, so I actually, where is it? Yeah, I've got a little clip here. Let me see, can you see that? Yeah. I've got a little clip here where I just took some of the bangs and I like wrapped them around and clipped them in place because they just kept falling in my eyes all the time, which made the headache worse. It was not a fun wig to wear, so it's a little better now that I've tamed the bangs a little bit, but I don't do this one often because it is a really heavy wig and it's just not that comfortable because it is so heavy. You can like feel the weight pushing down on your head. So not my favorite wig, but it's definitely a different look, so I do use it now and again for ASMR, and of course there are a few costumes that do require this curly black mop. So that is my curly black wig. And then I've got one more here of what I'll call my good wigs. I still have a few of the bad, really cheap, $5 Halloween store wigs. I think I wore one of those on the Spaceship Mechanic. I think I wore two of those in the Spaceship Mechanic, yeah. I had them layered. There was like a pinkish orange one and a really shiny blonde one. So those are really cheap wigs, and I did use those. I do have a green one that I have, but I don't know if I've ever used it in an ASMR because, green screen is usually what I'm using in my ASMR videos, and it will take the wig right out, so I don't usually use those. And I do occasionally use some of the $5 Halloween wigs in my ASMR just for different looks. Like I said, I used it for the Spaceship Mechanic, and let me see, this was the black one I was using until my brother let me borrow his V for Vendetta one. So I know I used this one a few times. I know I at least used it in the superhero uniform ASMR, but this one I don't know if you can see it on the camera right now, but it is really shiny and really fake looking. It's comfortable because it's really lightweight, because, you know, it's made of like nothing, but I don't use this one that much. I'll put it on, but it kind of looks like the black one of my brother's. So it kind of looks similar to my brother's V for Vendetta wig, but in this case it's just a little bit thinner and really, really shiny. So since I got my brother's wig, I don't use this one very often. I don't think I've used it since he started letting me use his. So, because it's kind of the same shape. It's, you know, just the black bob, and since I've got the better one with his wig, I don't usually use that one very much. I do have the wig I originally used for Daenerys, for my Daenerys costume. I don't think I've ever used that in an ASMR, because that was, again, it was a Halloween store wig. It's a really bad wig. It's like so frizzy, you can just, it looks awful. So I used it for Daenerys at the time because I didn't have another one, but now I've got that one that I use for The Witcher and Daenerys, which looks way better than that other wig. So I'm not even sure where some of those other cheap Halloween wigs are now, because I don't keep them in my nice wig box. My wig box, I'll actually show that to you. My wig box is this little hat box. That's what I keep all my wigs in. I just kind of take them and swirl them around in there to keep them set the way they should be set. And it's probably not the best way to store wigs, honestly. I will admit that, but that's what I have. I don't really have room for a whole line of mannequin heads covered in wigs, so that's what I use. Keeps the dust off of them, keeps them clean, and, you know, like I say, I just carefully lay them down, you know, just swirl them around. If they're long ones, short ones I can just drop right in, but the long ones just swirl around, and it keeps them from getting too tangled. So so this is my last, what I'll call a good wig. You know, one that doesn't have that really plasticky Halloween star shine. So it's not a great wig, but it's better than some of those really cheap $5 Halloween store wigs. So, and this one, what did let's see, I used it for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay, I'm gonna have to wind my hair up under this. This one I do usually braid my hair over the top of my head for, because the wig already flips out to the side, so it doesn't really matter if the hair pushes out to the side when I braid it, but for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to quickly wind my hair up underneath. One of the reasons why I always braid my hair up underneath is because then nothing falls down. Like if I wear this wig with my hair wound up under it the way it is right now, eventually pieces of hair will start falling down. Whereas if I braid my hair over the top, nothing falls down, and I can bobby pin this to that, so I can bob my head all day, and the wig's never going to fall off, so that's why I do that. Let me just get this set here. So, there we go. This one, I mean, technically it's white, but it could also be like platinum blonde, I guess. I used it for Obi-Wan, which is why it's white, but yeah, technically it could be platinum blonde, and when I wear this wig, a lot of people do think it's blonde on the camera, so don't really have it on quite right here, but for the purposes of just showing off the wig, there it is. So this one, again, it's short, it's lightweight, there is zero maintenance on this wig because it is so short, and like I think that's like as long as the strings of hair on it are, so this is one that I just throw in the wig box and it's fine when I pull it out again. So, but yeah, it's a comfortable one, fits my head great, and I don't know if I wear this one as much as some of the other ones, but it is a fun one to wear because, again, really, really different look for me, which is kind of fun when you're playing a character to not look like yourself while you're playing a character that is not yourself. So do have fun with this one as well. So alright, so those are all of my wigs, and the early part were my weird hairstyles, which I will probably come up with more. Actually, I think, yeah, the crazy cat one, what I did for that one, I forgot to show that one, I guess, is what I did for that one. I just took my hair and I did that, I wound it up into pigtails and I just clipped them in place back here. It was a terrible hairstyle and it kept falling down, so by the time I was actually filming the video, you can barely tell that those were supposed to be pigtails, but yeah, I think that's the other one, and I think those are the only ones that I've really done. I will probably come up with some more weird ones at some point, just because when I'm shooting, you know, like sci-fi videos, I like to make them look like, you know, alien hairstyles or whatever. So, in the meantime, that's all for now, and I will see you guys next week with another roleplay where I'll be wearing one of my weird normal hairstyles or one of my wigs. So, see you guys next week.